Let me say good evening to our peace and loving people. Tonight is a great night to be here again on this platform, the Marius TV, on our educational talk for life, education for life talk show. Tonight we are super excited to be here wherever you are joining us. We say good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever part of the world you are. We are blessed tonight to have uh, a very powerful man with us tonight in studio that is going to be driving us through our topic for tonight. We talk about from classroom to character, and tonight we're going to look at how discipline in primary and secondary school shaped identity. And tonight is a wonderful discussion we have with us tonight in studio. No other person but Mr. Emmanuel George Kawe. he's here tonight. But before we go to the introduction of our guest and we start this all important discussion, we are running strictly to our commercial. We want to take this song. Facebook, we say we will no copyright to this. We encourage all of our followers tonight to please like, share. You can send in your questions. The number will be announced. The number that you can call to be part and parcel of the show for tonight. Tonight is going to be a wonderful discussion. So some of us who have our children in the primary or secondary school that is around us right now, we urge you to please call them and let them be part of this discussion to understand their identity. Uh, uh, in high school or what those things that they need to know. So before we go forward, let's take our commercial, and then once we be back, we're going to start the ball rolling. Okay, let me say thank you and welcome back tonight. Tonight being a very interesting day for us. I know we are here tonight to go through our educational for live show, and then tonight we are here to talk about character from classroom to character. And today our major focus, we are here to talk on how discipline in primary and secondary school shaped identity. And tonight we have with us, like I said previously, we have Mr. Emmanuel with us as our guest for tonight. So I am your host for tonight. D. Bernard Maris is my name. Then tonight I should be co-host by Miss Wonders, and we haven't seen her yet, but we show that she's trying to make her way. And before we go to the introduction of our guest, let me start with our panelist. Firstly, let me start with Mr. Philip. Philip, how are you doing? And welcome tonight. Our people would like to hear a little bit from you tonight before we start the show.
Thank you, CEO, and good evening to our followers. Good morning to you, good afternoon, or hello, whatever time it is at your end. And it is also good to see Queen here on the live. Good evening to you, Queen, and good evening to our host, Miles, as well, and our guest, Emmanuel. So today I'm looking forward to a fascinating and impactful show tonight from classroom to what are called class. Although we have, our official theme, but actually when you leave classroom to go out into the larger society, the community, all those values, all those skills you learn, it actually turn you into a classy person. So I'm looking forward to a wonderful conversation tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Philip. Thank you for that. Let's take Queen. How are you doing? And welcome tonight. Let's hear from you before we get to our guest.
Okay, so thank you so much, Marius, for the opportunity. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as per location you are calling us from. You are welcome to the Myers TV, where we enlighten the minds of our parents, of our students, to enter the larger society tomorrow as a good example. I'm Queen, the new remain constant. I'm Queen Adeline, currently residing here. It's an honor to be here. Thank
I'll
Thank,
be sleeping by that.
thank you so much, Queen. Then we just saw the arrival of our one of our own panelists here tonight, Alfred Timo. Let's hear from you tonight, my brother, and welcome to the Marius TV. Before we go to our guest,
Okay, thank you so much, my brother, Maris. Thank you so much. Hello to Miss Queen. Hello to Mr. Philip Jedro. And to our followers, we say good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We say you are welcome once again to the Maris Television. I'm Alfred T. Moore, Jr., reside in India, Punjab to be precise. So we are back again for our education for life program. So we are here tonight again with a great time with you. So we will get the night going. Thank you.
thank you so much. So while we are solving a little technical problem, let's take just a meeting of our commercial again, and then once we come back, we'll take the introduction of our guest, and then we start the ball rolling instantly.
Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream from Africa's heart to the world. Truth and culture, my STV, bringing light each day, stories that guide us, show the way, one love, one voice, one destiny, welcome to the future, my STV, a vision was born with a purpose so true. Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into a
Okay, let me say thank you so much. That was our commercial time, and so now we are about to draft strictly into the show. Before we start the discussion, Mr. Emmanuel Kawe, we want to say welcome to the Marius TV tonight. Before we start tonight, our guest, let me say our audience, our viewers would like to hear. They will want to know who is this Mr. Emmanuel Kawe that we have brought tonight to to elaborate on a very key topic that is going to benefit our society. You know that we live in a society today that we need to know things that we don't know about. I believe that Mr. Emmanuel Kawe have some ideas when it comes to those things tonight, and having him is a pleasure tonight. So before we draft into the discussion, let's hear your introduction tonight, sir. Are you there, Mr. Kawe? Are you there, Mr. Kawe?
Emmanuel,
Okay, within our I don't know.
Yes, I'm
Our
here.
guest is taking little network problem.
Are
Okay,
you
okay.
getting me?
Yeah, yeah, we are hearing you, sir.
Yes. Are you getting me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, we want to hear your introduction tonight, sir. We are listening to your introduction, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Good evening to you all. Thank you for having me on this show. My name is Emmanuel George Kawe, a student of Graphic Era University, uh, India, Uttarakhand State. I'm also the state to be precise. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So we just heard the voice of our guest for tonight, Mr. Emmanuel Kawe. He's currently studying at the Graphic Era University. He's currently the superintendent for the Uttaranka State under the Liberian Students Association. So we just heard that. We want to draft to our discussion for tonight. We talk about from classroom to character, and which of course has to be our core value as an individual, right? Because whatever we learned within the classroom, these are things that we try to practicalize outside there, right? We finalized that today our primary and secondary school. So firstly, when we talk about primary, we talk about, we talk about maybe from grade 6, downward, where we have, K2, first grade and other things, there where they teach these basic things and other things to us. And we talk about our secondary, we talk about, our upper classes, where we see from 7th grade to 8th grade. We talk about lower secondary. Let me say from 7th grade to 9th grade, we talk about lower secondary, and then we talk from 10th grade to 12th grade, where they prepare us. And we know our secondary school where we just have a self-contained teacher there. Sorry, the primary self-contained, and then those secondary ones that has to do with having rotational teachers and other things. This other person comes to teach this, and that's it, right? So we want to talk about the discipline. We know that discipline has to do with our core value as a person, right? uh, the matter in which you have structured yourself, right? The matter in which you decide, to live your life. Those rules and regulations you have placed within yourself. And now we are linking it to the school today. And we are linking it to the school setting, right? And we know today that in our country, Mr. Emmanuel, you work with the education sectors in our country, I believe with the MCC, where we have in the school setting, we have some faith-based school, right? Where they do not just prepare the children academically, but also when it comes to other spiritualities and other things, right? Yes, I was opportune to attend one of the Melody institutions where they don't just teach, exactly from the curriculum, but they bring other religious things, to teach you to make your faith very strong. So these are things that we learned, in our primary and secondary school. And so tonight we are here to ask you, Mr. Emmanuel Kawe, let's start a discussion with you tonight on your own, in your own minds and with the level of experience you carry tonight. Mr. Emmanuel, what do you really mix of the topic talking about how discipline in primary and secondary school shape identity? When we talk about identity, you know very well how a person, how people look at you, how they classify you to say, okay, today I'm classifying you to be Mr. Emmanuel Kawe, the superintendent, the kind of characteristics you carry and other things. So let's start with you on the conversation today. What do you make of this topic, sir?
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Let us first just start with or begin with understanding a few things and also laying the ground, the foundation or basis for this discussion. Um, we live in a world full of distractions, social media, and instant gratification. And in such a world, children need more than information and good character. And in order to do that, they need values, they need directions, they need strong sense of identity. And to talk about discipline, actually focusing on from classroom to character, we have to first look at the roots of discipline. Discipline actually start from the home. It start from our family. Yeah, and the school. it is in a school where you can read it, mostly see uh, these things being shaped to give us the identity that we have today. So we need values, direction, and strong sense of identity. And our home, there are places where these are mostly shaped along with the classroom. So the home and the classroom, they work hand in hand. Okay. So from classroom to character, how discipline in primary and secondary school shapes identity. I will let to also begin by looking at the definition of education. All right. Let us look at education definition to see how it connects with our topic or our discussion. Education is not just about passing exams, going to school, scoring all these big grades and what have you, Education is actually the process of developing our mind, our abilities and character so that a person can make wise choices and then live responsibly and also be able to be a good person in a society. So the mind, developing our mind, when we talk about mind, we talk about looking at knowledge. When we're talking about developing our mind, we talk about looking at knowledge, how knowledge shapes us to give us that identity. When we talk about skills, we're talking about the abilities, we talk about uh, how discipline shape who we become. So the classroom is where this happens in everyday situation. Discipline connects learning to behavior and behavior to identity. When children repeatedly practice respect, responsibility, and self control, those actions slowly become part of how they see themselves. So it is within a school we are being told that uh, we need to follow a specific set of procedures, rules, regulations that will be able to shape us to become a better person. So let's take for example in primary school. Uh, we the first thing you need to do, you have to go to school on time. Going to school on time is very important. There is a time that you need to arrive on campus, and if you arrive on campus other than that time, you are late, you will be punished. All right. So when you get on campus, there will be assembly of students standing online, and then the school will also teach the students how to greet, keeping classroom clean, completing work on time. All of these things send powerful message to children, and it makes the children to think that with this, once I'm practicing this repeatedly, most often, it will make me to be responsible. All right, it will make me to be responsible. It will make me to learn how to respect others. It will make me to be able to care and then share spaces and know my boundaries. So many of us we grew up with these habits. All right, the school install this discipline in us. They put these habits into us so that it will be able to shape us, and that when we happen to grow, it becomes part of us. So let's take for example at Graphic Era University here. When we are in class, can you imagine I'm doing MBA program, all right? But then while sitting in class, when your lecturer or teacher happen to come to class, you the entire students in the class will stand up. That is sign of discipline. That is what has been taught from our primary school days, and that is part of us. They teach us how to respect others. They teach us how to respect people, how to do things according to procedure, how to do things according to yeah best human practice for society. So in secondary school, discipline becomes even more important. This is when identity is fragile. All right. So secondary school, you will see that students will face peer pressure, emotional change, increasing freedom, and all of these things. Discipline does not only restrict freedom, it does not only do this, but it teaches young people how to use freedom responsibly. True discipline is not about fear or punishment. Most people, when they talk about discipline, they've always focused on punishment, punishment, punishment. But really, true discipline is not about fear or punishment. It is about guardians. How can we guard our students? How can we be able to make them follow best practice to be able to live better in society. It builds self-control, accountability, and respect until these values become part of students' identity. So these are things that discipline do from the classroom to character. Teachers and parents together, they play very important role in our life as students. Okay, from classroom to character, teachers, parents, they play very important role. The community, the environment we find ourselves in also play very important role. Okay, so the family, the parents, the teacher, they plant the seed, and then the community and the environment help that seed to grow. That seed we are talking about is the discipline. When school teach discipline and then homes reinforce it, children will be able to receive clear message about who they are expected to become. Schools and family, they plant the seeds, like I said before, and then the community environment, they help that particular seed to grow. When children see discipline practice around them in the community or wheresoever they are, because we're talking about character from classroom to character. So doing these things, doing these procedures, rules, regulation, practicing them good, those good habits, practicing them repeatedly. Yeah, doing these things, and most especially where you see you have people around you and you seeing these things, it help the neighborhood, it help the society to become a better part of who we are, and the community will be able to turn discipline into identity. So when we were in school, most especially from the primary side, you will see that students are taught how to greet their teachers, how to greet people. Students are taught how to do the right thing, and all of these things in one of you. So discipline is very important for us as students, most especially focusing on the primary side. If you miss the mark of discipline while you are a student in primary, level or during primary school days, if you miss the mark and you get to secondary, it is going to be somehow difficult for you to be able to have that positive identity, because all of these, what we learn from primary school days, it helps us to become who we are. It shape our identity, it give us that identity. So that is why raising children with knowledge and value matters so deeply. Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kawe, for that. We really appreciate. While you were speaking, and then there was something that drafted to my mind. I remember when we were in high school. Sometimes the teacher will try their possible best to make sure that they put all these things that that will make us to be a positive individual in society, right? But yes, still sometimes it doesn't work that way, right? If you look at today, if you look at those drugs addicts today, most of them you ask them today, and then when they tell you the kind of institution they went to, right? And you yourself, you know that this institution uh is an institution that had a very high standard when it comes to the discipline level, right? These are institutions that when you go to school late as a child or whatever, once you get to campus late and other things like you stated, right? We used to go into school very early. When you go there very late, they give you punishment and make sure that you are like this. But yes, still, the child at the end of the day, they find themselves in a lot of illegal acts or art that is not, that is not helpful to society. So before I take my our panelists today to hear their own side, before I forget about this question, Mr. Emmanuel, who should be blamed today? Looking at the hour that a child spent on a campus, when it talks about their identity and the time they spend at home, the parents and then that of the school or institution, who should be blamed today for a negative or identity of a child.
Okay. Please repeat that question, please. I want to get that straight.
So yes, there's my question, right? Looking at the teacher, let me say the teacher or the institution, then that of the parents, right? With all what we have said about institutions, but yes, still there are sometimes you find out that the child come out in a negative form, right? They grow up in a their identities at the future level gets very bad and other things in society affect society in fact, right? So my question today to you, yes, they are spending a lot of time with the institution. They are also spending a lot of time with their parents or guardians. So my question to you today, Who should be blamed for a negative identity of an individual or a child?
Well, with this question, I would say there is this saying that says character begin at home and it end abroad. While I would not like to give a particular blame to point at, maybe to say parent or teacher or school, I don't want to point at particular person or individual or thing, but I would like to say uh, character begin at home and end abroad. So, like I said during my presentation, I said that discipline start is actually starting from the home, and then it goes to the school. So the home and the school, they work together by planting this particular seed, all right? And then the community, the environment helps it to grow. So people, students or child or people can learn discipline in school, but to practicalize it out there is another thing. So I don't want us to blame maybe the parents or the school, but I want to blame the society we find ourselves in, because like I said from the beginning, discipline shapes habit and habit shape identity. So the child that learn responsibility, respect, and self-control in school carry those values into adulthood. So if the manner in which, or the process in which the child learn these habits, these values, if that particular minor or process was not carefully handled, then we have a problem for society. So uh, 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 I'm coming what this thing discipline, like I said, discipline, it teaches children, right, how to apply knowledge, but then having that knowledge and then being able to being able to make it to be part of you, to shape that identity, is another thing. So everyone has part to play in discipline. Parents, school, society, community, environment, everyone has part to play. So we cannot blame specific individual or person. So we all we need to see how best we can work on that to be able to give that good moral standard value. Yeah.
Okay,
A child
thank
may learn
you,
about
thank you.
responsibility, but discipline. Yeah. So
Okay,
to
thank you
conclude,
so much.
hello.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah. To conclude on that, I would say a child may learn about responsibility, a child may learn about value, but that's a responsibility, but discipline teaches them how to act responsibly. Yeah.
Then my question to you, right? Who do you think should be blamed, right? Who should give the child that proper discipline? And if the child receive those discipline, uh, from the institution. Now we are talking about institution, right? The child receive those discipline, which of course, most school, that's their code value, right? That's what it stands for, right? They discipline the child both morally, emotionally, whatever way you must see it, right? But yes, still sometimes the child comes out of hand, right? You see then let me tell you, for example, right? You will see a child on the campus, their attitude at that campus is quite different than when they leave from the campus, right? And then that's the same thing, right? Even when they get home, the way they behave there is quite different than when they meet people outside, which we talk about the society like that. And they put on different attitude and other things. So really my question is, who should be blamed for that?
Okay. So to answer this question, I will want to say that in order for us to find uh, a particular person to be blamed for the child having negative attitude, we have to first look at the forming of the identity that led to this negative attitude. We have to look at the forming of this identity that led to that. So while the classroom teaches knowledge and rules and regulations concerning discipline, then discipline turns those rules into daily actions. So while in school, as student or a person, you will be taught how to respect people. You will be taught knowledge. You'll be taught rules, regulations, and what have you. But if you are not practicalizing it, if you are not practicing it, then the process of forming and shaping into identity to get that good, positive attitude, it become a problem. Okay, so we say repeated action shape character, and we say character becomes identity. So in order for them to have good character, there should be people in school that will be given the responsibility to be able to monitor every student in the school, so they can be able to apply these things. And after they learn these rules, these regulations, they should, when they come home, the parents should also be able to help in the process to be able to make sure that the child don't go out of what they were being taught. And then the community, also the environment, because parents will not be around at times, the school faculty will not be around at times, so the people in the society, in the community, to an environment, they need no help. So that is what I'm saying. To answer the question, if anything goes wrong, everyone is to be blamed, because discipline is not one person thing. There is a saying that says child is not for one person. There is an adage. It is an African adage, most especially from our country, Liberia. Child is not for one person. Child bringing up is not for one person. Everyone's supposed to put their hands together to be able to bring the child up, to make the child to be a better person in society. Yeah. So when the child going astray, everyone should take the blame.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kawi. So we'll get back to you very shortly. Let's turn to our panelists tonight on the show. So how do you call Philip? We want to give you the next 2 minutes on this topic, a very key topic tonight we are on, right? We talk about from from uh from classroom to that of character, and today we are talking about discipline of primary, secondary, how you call it, our students, right? So we just hear from our guest tonight, and we want to hear from you tonight, Mr. Philip Dodo. What do you have for us tonight when it's relating to this topic? What's your own insight? We give you the next 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, CEO. And I would like to extend my thanks to our guest, Emmanuel, for actually laying the basis and expatiating on it the more. So, I mean, he just said almost everything that is required to be said onto our parents, onto our educators, and other educational stakeholders in our country and even in our homes. So, I would like to be more practical when it comes to this particular topic, from classroom to character. Like I said earlier on, right? I don't want to term it as character. I would like to term it as class or being classic. Because once your character is being refined, your character is being built, your character is being established, and you kind of express it out, you kind of display your character, those positive ones, people term you as a classic person. So here is a real life example that I have seen over the time, and we all, can acknowledge to that. So it's clear enough that before a child, enters any school, it could be any school, whatever age, before that particular child enters a school, the discipline we talk about, the training we talk about, the teaching process we talk about, it's already being shaped in that child's or person's very home. Nowhere it starts, nowhere it begins, but the very home in which that child was born, in which that child is being raised. So discipline, we've been talking, past days about discipline and identity. It actually begins at home. Then how come school comes into play? Like I'm from the computer science and engineering, field, and there is a method in machine learning that we call uh, reinforcement learning. That's an algorithm which we built on a machine model. So that reinforcement learning says that as you build your model, the machine learns from what the users input. and whatever is being built by the model and sent back to the user, and the user is able to do exactly what has been sent back to the user correctly, there is a reward system. There is a reward system. So whenever you send an input to the machine and the machine did not get it right, and then you send again, the machine takes in and start to build on, build on, build on, and at the end, it comes up with this reinforcement learning. That is to say that it saves the information a earlier on did not get. So the school comes into play to reinforce every discipline that has been taught onto a child in his or her home. Remember, home introduces this entire discipline thing. So a child who is being taught respect or responsibility or any daily routine at their homes can easily adapt better in school. Practical example, Emmanuel spoke out. We were all down in the kindergarten, the nursery division, the early childhood, blah blah blah, primary education, lower elementary. He said, when our teacher comes to class, what do? Morning routine. We all stand up to greet the teacher. What do? We all say our prayers. And yes, we all brought that with us in this land. Far away from Africa. It's another continent, a far different continent, very far away from Africa. But because of that routine being taught onto us, that if you see your elderly walks in the class as a student, you are to stand up in respect and greet. So that is to say, discipline begins at home and the school reinforces the discipline. So every responsibility being taught onto us by our parents, every responsibility being taught onto us by our guardians, and it's being well taught and being followed up by not just you teaching today and tomorrow you don't do the same. Like we said last week, it's about consistency. Once you are consistent as a parent or as a guardian on training the children discipline or teaching them discipline, it remains in them and they grow and go with it. So another practical example I would like to end with, because of time, remember that
Yeah, yeah.
our children or any young adult or teen, as you may call them, yeah, as you may call them, if they are being taught to wake up early morning, to wake up at a particular time, early morning, and then as they wake up from their bed, they greet their mom, their dad, their elder sister, elder brother, or junior sister, junior brother, or whatever age. Once those children or that child is being taught to wake up at a particular time every morning, and as you wake up, you greet and you try to do your daily home routines. Those responsibilities and those trainings remain in that individual, and as they grow up, they will exhibit that habit, they will practice that habit wherever they go. So our transformation as children comes from the home. And as it comes from the home, we now become to grow emotionally and socially well in our school. But if the foundation is destroyed, like the Bible says, what can you do? If the foundation is not built well in the homes, how can the dean of student affairs and the principals and vice principals and teacher handle this kind of child? At the end, you see anti-error. At the end, you see suspensions. So these are things that happen. So it is important for us to know that our home
Okay.
plays an important
Thank you.
role in disciplining us.
Thank you. So, in one word, Philip just said to us, they said character begin at home, or charity begin at home in Edinburgh. Sorry. So, our parents are the ones to be blamed whenever the child or children goes, in real world, right? Like you usually say, right? In a real world, is the parents who are to take the blame of that. Okay, we hear that. Okay, tonight we want to turn over to you, Miss Queen. Can we hear from you tonight? We having this very important conversation tonight on how discipline in primary and secondary school shaped identity, right? And mostly we're talking about from what? From classroom to character. And then when we talk about character, we remember, right, preparing you for society, how people see the level of integrity you carry, right? How people see you honestly to them, right? Because whenever you see today in our society, right, when someone go to work to a particular place and there is some kind of feelings that is carrying on, wrong feelings, right? The first they reflect to, but which institution this guy is coming from, right? They try to ask. These are questions that people come out to, where this guy is coming from, and when people try to point out, and people's like, when somebody look at you now, Queen, Queen, can I ask you a question? Which institution you graduated from high school?
Favorite chapel.
Faithful Chapel, right? Oh, but look at Queen. Faithful Chapel, we know their level of standard is very high. But see the kind of behavior she put in, we don't know Faithful Chapel people to behave like that. You know, that's a bad image when it comes to that of the school. Okay, what was last name? See the kind of family she from, right? This family, they are family that we haven't heard such a thing like this, right? So she come up like this. No man, we don't think this girl is really from this family. Maybe she from somewhere else. You know, people try to take different law and other things. So that's where we are tonight, and we want to ask you right on this particular discussion. What's your own takes on it tonight, Miss Quinn?
Okay, so thank you so much to Myers for the opportunity given me, and also thanks to our guests that are laid on the platform and elaborate on the mood. So, based on the questions you asked, the first question to our guests, let me just come in when it comes to that. Based on the queen, the queen are earning perspective, okay, who are to be blamed? Let me use my Martin Curry voice.
Is that a philosopher? Queen, okay, Queen Anna is about to say her own, philosophy to us tonight, yeah, what she see about it, her own minds and other things. So tell us that.
Yes, who are to be blamed? So when you ask me for my own honest opinion, I will tell you that this is based on both parents and the teacher. Because when we talk about discipline, our mind only shouldn't be only shaped on when it comes to respect, how the child dress, also when it comes to education, when it comes to being professional. So let's say for instance where if I'm a student where from the Victory Chapel and then I was taught in my class and also to study when I come home my parents reinforced that. And unfortunately I went for YSM and then I failed this exam. Trust me, the first place I was going to play is Victory Chapel. They never going to think about Queen wasn't studying or Queen parent wasn't teaching her how to study. They would think that Victory Chapel is not teaching based on the massive failure from that particular class would tell us that the school wasn't teaching or it based on the parent or the student wasn't studying. Let's say for instance that all of 49 students from that year in Victory Chapel, let's just say 40 pass and none fail. On that basis, you will see people will do their fair on this particular student wasn't studying because while the massive student from this particular class they pass, why I said this girl fail? So coming to the parents' side, if the child go out tomorrow, in the street, being abusive, fighting, doing all kind of stuff, negative things. First of all, they will start to say, "There's a mom, there's a family she from." Some people are like family where they know them to be a violent family. Once you call this particular person, they say, this family is a very violent family. So, from my perspective, those two people are to be, which is the teacher and the parents. So, coming to discipline is very, very important when it comes to as a youth, as a student, as a parent. You cannot. I always tell people you cannot skip discipline. That's for instance, I want to be practical tonight, right? That's for instance, when I was in Liberia, right, and then when I started school, even up to when I graduated, right, when teacher comes to class, you will stand up and greet that teacher. When we're coming to India, we felt this, American or whatever Western citizen that once you come, you don't have time for teacher, how you come, but we come, those teachers still reinforce that into all that tells that you cannot run away from discipline. So as a student, you have to be disciplined because discipline helps to shape the mind of student. How to solve problem in terms of conflict, how to go about doing and making peace, coming to common ground. A student in a class, when you are a disciplined student from the business background, right? When I come into class, right, I cannot wear like any kind of way I want to dress. I have to dress because the teacher try to nurture or no queen, you have to dress up. You have to be professional. You are from a business background because when I go to work tomorrow, I won't be carrying shower slip or even slippers to work. I have to be dressing diplomatic. So that tells our discipline. You cannot escape discipline at your work, even in your home as a lady. You want to stay face the reality. If you run away from discipline in your parent house, when you come in your husband house or in your, you have to face that same discipline. If not, the relationship not going to work. So, and also, if you are not read properly from your home, perhaps you run away from discipline, it's going to affect your fourth, fifth, sixth, or the 10th generation. So, as a student, as a child, as a parent, we have to take discipline. When it comes to our education, we have to manage time. When we're in Liberia, even to India, if you go for class late, and then teacher will tell you, no, you are not coming my class, or maybe staying outside for some time, even in Liberia will face, because they're trying to discipline that tomorrow when your work is starting by 9, you cannot come 5 minutes after 9. At the end of the day, if I HR down there, 2 times fasting, say you fail, you fire, I tell you no la. So we have to be disciplined as a student, as a parent. Discipline comes to all parents, all students, no etc. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that practical knowledge to us.
So,
When you were saying
Myers,
this,
Myers,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
CEO. Yeah, just
yeah,
to
yes, sir.
hold you there, we have a question. We have a question in the
Okay,
chat
we will come
box.
to that. We will come to that. We will come to that. I saw it already. We will come to that. In a
Okay.
subsequent
Okay,
time,
sir.
right?
Okay, sir.
So before we will
Okay,
come to
sir.
that. And then let me announce the number for you to call and be part of the show tonight. So all is WhatsApp. You have to call on WhatsApp if you want to be part of the show tonight. So listen to the number very carefully. Is +231 881 30 23 64 +231 881 30 23 64, and we have +91 90 58 92 94 11 +91 90 58 92 9411. So you can be part of the show tonight on those numbers that were just announced. Or you can send in your question through the question section here, and then we are going to definitely read those questions. I heard every one of us tonight elaborating just centered around the same thing, and then these are questions that comes to my mind. But let me take our guest for this question. Mr. Kawe, you are our key focus point for tonight, mind you. So my question to you is, do not be afraid. I'm not here to scare you. I know you always. So just Mr. Kawe, what happens, right? What's happening if you have unqualified teachers who should have been who should be a more role model to a child has been placed in a classroom? Why do you expect that child to carry on in society? What do you think society expect from that child having unqualified teacher? Like our focus point today has to do with from classroom to what? To character. So having unqualified teacher, people who did not do their ethics, right? Because in teaching they have ethics, right? I think I'm sure, right? You have to do your ethics and other things, right? To know how to present yourself when it comes to the class issue, how to manage the class, what to say, what to not say, yeah, how to deal with people from different diversity, because those students you are dealing with, mind you, they are all from different diversity, right? These are people that are coming from different homes. Some of them they are home every day. There are people are fighting there. Some people from home that you don't even hear anybody making noise, from a very quiet area. So what to do to maintain them, right? These are the ethics and other things you have to learn. So what happens when you have unqualified instructors being placed before such of people like this? What do you expect them to give to society?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, unqualified teachers should not be placed in the classroom. They should not be hired because they are going to damage uh, the student's future. And speaking from the human resource background and also pursuing MBA in human resource management, what I think I can do if I am in the position as HR manager or director to be able to hire a teacher that will be able to uh, help shape our student and give them that good identity that society will be able to recognize and they will be able to contribute to society, that society can have. I think there is this thing called background check of every applicant that apply to an institution. But from what I observe, most human resource management agency in Liberia, they are not observing these things background check. I stand to be corrected. I know what I'm saying. Okay, they will carry on all of the human resource management process and without doing background check to know who is that applicant, whether the applicant is qualified. This is why in some other countries, in order to hire teacher into the classroom, the people do background check. They even come to the community. They also visit the school the person attended to know the person character, and also visit police station to know whether the person has criminal record. All of these things. When you do these things as HR personnel or manager, you vet the person, you do background check about the person before you can start to focus on the organization or that particular ministry or agency or policy to know whether the person's skills and abilities aligned with the organization's policy. Then you will be able to have a good teacher to place in the classroom to be able to give our students, our children, the discipline that will be able to shape that their identity to a positive one. So having bad teachers to be placed in classroom, I'm strongly against it. And uh, working in the human resource department, these are some of the things I'm focusing on to see how best we can be able to improve our learning environment, to be able to have better and qualified people with moral discipline that will be able to install these kind of trainings, these kind of habits into our students. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Kawe. So now you are really doing extremely well. I must appreciate that. So before we go to our comment section tonight, we are seeing some questions, and the comment section is also interesting tonight. I'm telling you, everybody, their parents, then where you're at, you come outside tonight because everybody's saying the parents. Everybody's saying the parents. It's like because I have drafted my focus on the parents and that of the school. Parents today, you can also well, you gotta get the one child,
So
the two children.
they actually CEO, they actually want the discussion to be balanced.
So me tonight, I'm saying right. I'm saying it on a very serious note. I have to blame the teachers because the teacher then these days they are having serious problem. You know the corruption beneath too much. We'll discuss on that.
CEO,
But
you
before
can
we,
say that, though it's your opinion, but you don't say that. You can say that,
I,
CEO.
I'm telling you tonight. I know you from that background. The teachers today has become a serious embarrassment. Mind you, I told you I was on the teaching field. I taught for 6 months, and I know my colleagues. I know people that I interacted with. I know how they behave when it comes to the interaction between they and the students. Right when it comes to discipline. For typical examples, you will see a student there is misbehaving right on another instructors, but because the student has been favored by the other teacher, maybe somehow let's say in your own librarian way that somehow a teacher side check, right? And you try to discipline that
CEO, you
child.
don't
What
have
are we
CEO, you don't make that assumption. CEO, you don't make that
eh?
assumption, CEO.
Why do
We
you
have
say
to
so?
discuss it.
On a Maya's
You don't
perspective,
Philip,
I
here's the
like that
reality,
queen.
right?
I like that.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
no, that's a reality, right? I'll somehow blame the teachers. Like I'll get them blame of 85% because the way in which they interact with students, the way in they protect certain students and other things, making them, to feel that kind of way. At the end of the day, they are not getting the proper discipline. So how do you expect them to flow in society? It has become serious problem today, but we'll draft to that, right? Let's take our commercial. I know the show is getting so interesting today. I'm seeing a lot of comments in the comment sections, a lot of questions. So let's take our commercial for just 1 minute or a few seconds, and then once we get back, we will take this question and ask our guest, and then we will roll into it, and then we'll come up with some critical analysis. We'll come here to conclude tonight. You know, we are out making our own analysis on how it should be, right? But mind you, at the end of the day, computer people, what you can say after you finish finding everything, right? You have to come down to give your final. How you can call the final thing? Philip, the result, eh?
Yeah, performance.
Yeah.
Is that a result, Philip? So we'll come to get a result today. We are all giving analysis, so we'll come to that. But let's take our commercial. Once we get back, we will go into it. Thank you.
Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream from Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture. Maya's TV, Maya's TV, bringing light each day. Stories that guide us, show the way. One love, one voice, one destiny. Welcome to the future, Maya's TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true. Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into a
Let me say welcome back tonight to our education talk, our education for life show tonight. We are on our season. We are on episode 2.1 tonight, and you can see tonight we have with us Mr. Emmanuel Kawe as our guest for tonight, and we are looking at a very critical topic tonight that will help in shifting our society, help in shifting the mindset that we have gained today. And tonight we want to talk about we are talking about from classroom to that of character, and then we are looking at how discipline shaped primary and secondary school students' identity, and it's very crucial tonight. When you just joining us, we say welcome to the Maris TV. And tonight we're about to take our last and final segment on the show. So we will go through the question. Philip, are you there? Can you just read our first question, or yeah, can you do the first question for us, Philip?
Oh, okay. Let me get to that in few seconds. Just few seconds because we have a lot of chats. Uh, all right. Okay, almost there. All right. So we have one of our followers by name Marion Ticker, and she says her question is: if a child who is not helped at home and is in school, what is the school responsibility? That was her question.
All right, thank you so much. So we want to ask, I want to give that question to our guest to hear his own analysis on that. Mr. Kawe, we want to give you the next 1 minute for your own analysis on that particular question.
Are you there? Hello?
We are
Hello,
hearing
are
you,
you
Yes,
sir.
you
there?
are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are
Okay.
audible.
So please reiterate that question quickly, please.
So the question is: if a child is not helped at home and is in school, what is the school responsibility?
Okay. Uh, from the beginning of my presentation, I said that discipline go hand in hand with parents and teacher.
So,
But
Mr.
if
Kawe, Mr. Kawe,
parents
let
is
me
not
just hold,
is
let me just hold you there, right? So this question basically,
Mm,
right, before you answer, I want to say that it's in this form and manner, right? Where we see the parents,
mm.
right? The parents is like, the time to go to work, right? They are spending a lot of time to work. You see the parents go to work from 6 o'clock and returning home 6 o'clock. They have no, much time to, to really discipline the child. Other thing, once they come home, they are already exhausted. They have to go to sleep, and all they know that the child have learned a lot on the campus, and the school have played all the major roles to make sure that child be successful or what have you, right? Because of their schedule and what have you. So that's where she came from with this perspective. Why you think the school should be able to do that? I was about to say that before you started talking, sir. Sorry for cutting you off.
Okay, so again, I said no matter our busy schedule, no matter what, we as parents, we should always dedicate our time to be able to see how best we work in line with the school to be able to help our child get that discipline because parent is also a partner to the school. So they should work as partnership. They should work as partners to be able to help the students. So let's take for example, except for the case wherein that child, let's say that child does not have people, maybe happens to be supported by the community to go to school and what have you, then that case is different. But no parent should take their job to schedule to be so very important and forget about their children. Parents should be able to help the school so they can be able to work together to be able to have the children have that discipline. When the children or child does not have anyone at home, in a case where maybe because some students we have in the school, they are orphan, you know, in that case, the community should be able to step in, or the institution or that organization should be able to step into work in line with the school as partner. Because I said from the beginning that parents and the school, they plant the seed and the community help that seed of discipline to grow. That's what I said.
Thank you so much. So let's get to you, Queen, on that particular question. Let's hear from your own perspective on that.
Thank you again for the opportunity, Myers. So when when Philip was reading this question, what's driving to my mind? This is one of the main problems that I don't want to say Africa because I haven't been there to see how they are other countries, African countries. But when it comes to in Liberia, where one of the main problems that our parents face in home, because of their busy schedules and let's just say all the ignorant at times, they feel that they can discipline the school do discipline that child or children themselves. You will find out in a setting wherein when a child misbehave and you'll see parents, I can remember back then, parents tomorrow so money are carrying the camp out of beat on the far latches. Sometimes they'll go advise the dream of student to advise, they tell the dream of student to advise their child. They feel that the school have monopoly over that child, the school have monopoly over advices, knowledge. So they are the best person to discipline a child. So it's very, very bad. You see, like when parents go, most of our mothers, because our father are the one knows providing too much for us, like they go extra mile to see their family, especially responsible father, right? You see, parents do not care. Even a hell Liberian parents that they get a child or children vacation in the school. A hell Liberian parent, most of them, because they don't want to spend time with the children. They feel there's a burden, it's a responsibility. At the end of the day, that's why I say, based on Queen Annie perspective, right? The two parties are to blame. Because when it comes to that, right, let's just say for Eastern, right? Let's just say when I come to India, I don't know what happened to you guys. When the school asked for letter of recommendation, not from the parents for the school. So the teacher are the ones that reinforce, some that install the discipline, but parents have to look after their children. Parents have to see and ensure that our children, that this school is not only the one that responsible for my child, I the one that born my child. I do believe my child listen to me. Then even the teachers, because they are just short on people comes and go. You understand? So in conclusion to this, I encourage our parents out there or those that want to be parents in the future, spend more time with your child or children. Don't feel that this school is the only one that have monopoly over your child. Like if they shout at your child come. Learn to spend more time with the child, discipline the child. Sometimes the child starts, then sometimes you teach them about ethics, teach them some things, explain some pastoral, lay down basic, and the child will follow. So thank you for that, Myers.
Okay, let me just address her quickly, please. Can I?
Yes, sir.
Discipline cannot succeed in school alone. So discipline should not only be just all about school, focusing on school. Parents have very important role to play in discipline. Yeah, yeah. It cannot succeed or survive in school alone. Parents should be able to ask the school, what is our role? What can we do? How can we help in the process to be able to make this student a better person, to be able to shape that, to be able to give that student that identity. So what she says, she is right. So our busy schedule as parent, giving us these excuses and what have you, I don't see it necessary. We should be able to find time and be able to give our children that attention to be able to make them to be better. Because man, you, if the child pass that level and reach to a certain level to be able to install discipline in a child, it can be very difficult. So this is why the child or the children should not miss the mark when they are at certain age. So it is a partnership,
Yeah,
and
thank you so
the
much.
community
What?
has to also play too.
Thank you so much. While you guys were speaking, and then there was this thing that dropped into my mind that talk about external and then that internal discipline, right? If the child is at the primary stage, you are not able to stop them from what they are doing, what they are seeing and doing. If you are not able to stop them from doing that, they grow up doing that and read to their secondary, where we talked about your secondary stage, and they are continually involved into those things, right? They continually involved into those things. What happened at the end of the day? They are seeing it as the external part. Now they try to build within them. These are things that makes our society today have become a serious problem. And then once the minds have grabbed those things, right, they have stored within the mind. What happens now? Everywhere they appears, they try to implement these things that they have already stored in their minds, right? Let's take for example, the child should be on campus by 7, like we stated here, right? 7:30. Every time the child is getting up very late to go to school, every time, and you are not putting any effort to make sure that child get up early to get ready for school and other things. What happens when that child reach certain level now after they have built their minds, even when they have work tomorrow? What happens every time you expect them to be what? To be late. So most people who see today, for a typical example, are always late in school. It is not in university as well for their professional work and other things. It never started from that professional work, for their house. Check their high school records and see, right? Yeah, that's how they operate through all their lives, right? They are always late, never in time. They are always late. So this is where it starts from. Like we said, it starts from homes, right? And I was saying that Philip was saying this and that, or Philip was saying no, Miles, don't say it. Those teachers too are somehow contributing, right, to the wrongful identity of our generation today, because the way in which they behave. Most of these guys are not even, like we said, we talk about the ethics. Most of these guys don't even go to school and other things to learn. They do not even sit for workshop and other things. They have been placed in the classroom. They came with that negative mindset already. What happened? They try to implement these things. Then have you seen before that teachers and students are in a Lego shop sitting there and drinking together? It happened a lot of time. We saw it a lot of time. You see some teachers, abusing students abusing them. Me, I will not stay away from all these things. So sometimes you look at it like we're talking about influence, right? Influence is another thing, right? The child has been influenced by these things, and when they get out tomorrow, they'll try to do these same things out there. And these are problems today our society is facing. And then in order to face these things, we are saying to some of us are coming out that want to be our parents, or some of our parents who are listening tonight, we are urging everyone to take responsibility, because Mind you, another thing I wanted to draft out, right? Know that the child is just going to that institution for a certain period of time. The child is going to spend almost the rest of the time with you, the rest of their time with you, right? Okay, let's say for example, once that child went, they go to that institution and maybe they graduated from high school and then they come back. Who that child coming back to? And are you the one? You are the one the child is coming to spend all the time with, right? Even if they are working, they'll always be there with you and other things. So everything that they will do out there, yeah, sometimes the institution are going to be affected, but mostly the parents, they will always point hand at the parents. So these are things that we face today. Philip, let's take you on your own thought on this particular question.
Thank you, CEO, for giving me the time, and thanks to our previous speakers. So the question is, what is the responsibility of a school when the children or the child lack discipline from home due to whatever factors? We don't care about that. But let's look at it this way, right? Let's look at it this way. We have discipline in two ways. I want to look at it in two ways, and also, request you to look at that as well. So we have discipline in the academic way, and we also have discipline in the emotional way. So there are academic discipline and there are emotional discipline. That's why when we began, the show, I made mention of discipline beginning at home, and the school responsibility is to reinforce what is being taught onto the child. Now, let's be practical enough. Our follower who just asked that question and everyone following, let's be practical enough and honest enough. The attention of a school is mostly focused on the academic discipline rather than the emotional discipline. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. In as much as, people may say we have dean on student affairs, they are paying people to carry on the disciplinary action. The principal is to discipline, vice principal, XYZ, the teachers. Yes, they are parents as well and educators. We know that. But see, that which is missing to get it back or to get it is difficult. There is a popular saying I like, which says, when you lost wealth, nothing is lost from you, Miles. Emmanuel, nothing is lost from you. Queen, nothing. When you lost your health, something is missing from you, we know. Something is lost. But guess what? When you lost your character, you lost everything in this life.
Everything, sure. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
you lost everything in this life. So to our follower who asked the question, the school responsibility is not to be king. And the discipline, the parents are to be king. But seeing that the parents are absent and the school has to reinforce, how can the school reinforce that which has not begun? That's the hard question. How can the school reinforce a discipline that has not begun, that has not been taught, that has not been instilled by the parents? So it becomes critical, my friend. It becomes critical and very challenging for the school. So how can the school adapt to that? That's why I like the Indian People Education, Lord. I think it's the NEP 2020. What it says that every school from primary or whatever level to a higher education should have a behavioral science course being taught. But guess what? We see many days in our school, in our colleges, and even our class, we see some children who were now rightly brought up, and the teachers, the faculties, the professors, they find it difficult to discipline those children. And let's compare it back to Liberia. If a child comes to school late, the school handbook says that if you come late, you are to, commit to certain punishment. Your classroom. And that child went home after being late and now being instructed to do the task or the punishment. That child now went home. and told his or her parent, I went late to school today. The dean said I should do this. The principal said I should do this. And they compel me to do it. That very same parent, I'm not talking down on parents, but that very same parent will go back on that campus to argue, to undermine. Let me use that grammar, right? Let me use that vocabulary. That parent will go back on that very same campus to undermine the disciplinary action of the school, which has not been taught by the parents. And the school is trying to teach. The school is trying to teach and reinforce two things, two challenging things: to teach that which was not taught and to reinforce. So when the principal now, told your kid to go and clean the bathroom, or to clean his or her classroom, or to fetch water, or to cut the grass, you be like, no, it ain't working. Ain't working. I did not pay your fees to go and do work. So how can the child adapt to that kind of discipline, saying that the parents are there constantly, harshly, ignorantly undermining the discipline of the school? So it is very crucial that both the parents, like our guest smartly said, it is crucial that both parents, guests, join hands in hands to discipline us. Let me be practical enough and just explain a few seconds my own, story.
Yeah.
You see, my
Just,
mom,
just
I love that.
10 seconds. 10
I
seconds.
love, yes, I love that woman so much. I love my mom so much. Myers, you dare make a mistake, you go out amongst your friends, and complaint comes from there that Philip, Jamel, Captain Dolo, or Jabba, as they call me, did this to me, for the fact that your complaint was reached to her. Your complaint was reported to her for the fact that taught you never to do in your life, and you made an error, or you make a mistake and do, bro, you will be harshly disciplined. Like our guest said, discipline is not punishment. Yes, but she wants you to understand the consequence, that when you do this amongst people, that which was not taught unto you, and you made an error, you forgot about which was taught unto you, and you did a negative thing. So it is crucial and it is hard time that our parents, they don't have the time to discipline us due to their busy schedules, due to the economy they are facing in Liberia, due to the economy they are busy working, selling. Yeah, thank you so much, Myers.
Okay.
10 minutes, we don't
Thank
want
you.
1 hour a
Thank
month,
you.
but 10 minutes each day. Ten minutes, few
Thank
seconds
you.
out,
Thank
just
you.
few seconds out, just few seconds, I beg. 10
We'll come
minutes,
back to
10
you.
minutes each day. I thank you, sir.
We'll,
Okay,
we'll
sir,
come back
thank
to
you.
you. Yeah, I feel like you are saying some things, and then this is what dropped to my mind. Today, parents no longer want
Thank
to
you,
be a
sir.
friend to their child or children. That's one of the major things we face today. Parents are like bugu man, like we usually say to their child or children, right? Yeah, you have to be open. We live in a society, the world is changing on a daily basis. You have to be open up to that child, right? It's not like you're opening for them to misbehave,
Yes.
but you have to be open in the sense and the form and manner in which you are telling them those things. When you do this, these are side effects you are going to have. When you do this, these are the positive effects you are going to have. You have to open up to them, and once you do these things, then what happens at the end of the day, you will have very good child or children. Some of us today, we are not trying to boast of it. Some of us attend a faith-based institution where we have something called your affirmation of faith. I attended one school called the Multi Justin Stewart School, right? They have your affirmation of faith. And most of the thing, before I said this, right? Sometimes the school too, they look at all the kind of funding they are having, so they kind of extra curriculum. They don't want to bring the kind of extra curriculum that will bring high level of discipline to the children. They don't want to, yeah, they're looking at the type of the funding they have and other things. But then in our school, we have extra subjects when it comes to our discipline, right? And they teach you your ethics. Yeah, they teach you your ethics, where you as an individual are trying to be a professional person, why you should know and why you should not, why you should do and why you should not do. They teach you all these things, right? They put you on a referral card. And I can assure you today, most of our classmates today, unless the one I was little bit, stubborn, I said no, they don't want those things, right? And sometimes we used to see some parents will come and be like, how you call my brother was saying, some parents will come and be arguing with administrators. Yeah, I remember a lot of times they were like, once you have a red, that school are telling you about a one red, they had to give you 20 latches. 20 they will give you. When you get through, they send you we have some kind of beef farms. I tell you, my brother, you will go and deep there, you plant cassava there, and you gotta make sure that cassava can grow. You gotta be looking at it every time. If that potato green, make sure it gotta grow. These are things we went through, I'm telling you about. One day I told my father I now want to go to that school again. They punished me one time, I now wanted to go there. But you have to say you have I'll get options there. No option. I just had to go back, right, and go through those things then. Because they were looking at the future for us. None of our parents are now looking at the way the world is advancing.
Sure.
A lot of parents should look at the way the world is advancing
Mm.
and be able to prepare your child for the advancement of the world. Because if they are not prepared now and then they reach to that level, you have no control over them. That's why we talk about self-control in discipline. You have no control, no
Mm.
restriction. Anything you say to them now will be that they are already into it. If you cannot do that self-control to them at home and the school add a little effort there and it combines to make that child a good person, you just give them that free will. At the end of the day, the world we are living in now, after every 6 months or 3 months, 4 months, ching, every day. And once your child has tried to grab that thing, like I said previously, we talk about internal and external discipline. Once your child is seeing that external thing and they are catching it, they're putting it in their minds. They are keeping it up here. They are keeping it up here. At a certain point of time, now when you get so many there, you are not able then again. They are changed totally. These are things we see in our society. Yes, society is changing, but it doesn't mean your child should change from that positive identity to the negative one. They should stand for that principles, right? That's why you as a parent, you should be a principle-minded person. When you say this to that child, no matter what, they don't want to do it. Force them to do it. Yeah, but a lot of parents today they are so reluctant. Yeah, everybody running after what they not lost. Everybody chasing money, 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 money. Today, money I made our world today is full of upside down. Yeah, a lot of our brothers and sisters. That's how you go in the ghettos. Have you listened to somebody interviews with those people from the ghetto when they are doing interview today? You hear some of these things they say, some of their story, and from the other family, yeah, my father did, my father that. That man spent all his time at work, not giving attention to that child. That not going small, small, taking a little pappy one and two, smoking small, small around the place there. People used to tell the party, you leave that man, nothing not happen to that man, not take it serious. Today, the man phone is set in ghettos. That's where wrong identity comes down. And all these things try to reflect to the parents. You are regretting your action, everything, all your resources you spend. Just imagine in Liberia now, how school is so expensive. Spending over 50,000, per year for a child. And that child have reached to the stage, all that money you spend just go free to that you can get no benefit of them. So we hope that these things will try to, our parents who are listening today will try to take these things in, will take the discipline level very, very serious. And then that of our instructors who are also listening, those administrators, let's make sure, let's go back to that kind of school we're in before. That school that Philip were there before, the way you used to punish Philip, the way you used to punish Emmanuel, who is here to discover, the way you used to punish Quick, who is here today, the way you used to
CEO.
punish that time we were to right when that balatana when I was making say balatana those things that we used to see right the
Balatana.
way you're please do it in this time so our little brothers and sisters who are coming on will not go on the wrongful side. So we want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We will take our parting statement from our panelists and then that of our guests. So let's start with our guests. We want to give you the next 1 minute for your parting statement.
Okay. So, what I would like to say, are you getting me?
Sir.
Yes, sir, you're
Yes,
audible.
sir.
Hello? Okay. So, what I would like to say is that in order to have the rightful educators, teachers, administrators in our classroom and on our campuses, speaking from the human resource background, I would like for educational institution to focus on hiring for character first, then followed by competence. All right. They should be able to screen for values such as integrity. They should be able to screen for responsibility, empathy, professionalism, and they should be able to ask questions to the applicant, such as how do you handle classroom discipline without fear or punishment? And they should be able to describe time, and then look at other things such as competence based in terms of recruitment. They should go beyond certificates, year of experience, all of these things. They should be able to follow classroom management, ethical decision making, student engagement. They should be able to follow classroom demonstration and observation. They should be able to observe our students, what they are doing, in order to be able to see how best to be able to help guide them. They should be able to conduct the classroom control, yeah, all of these things and what have you. Yeah, they should follow background verification and professional conduct checks, like I stated earlier. Yeah, because some, I would say most, because I have been applying to other institutions as well. I have been attending interviews and what have you, and I also been doing research following these things. Some, well, that's the most human resource management departments in our country. They don't do background check. I will not lie to you. Let anyone prove me wrong. They don't do background check. So in terms of education, to have the rightful people in the classroom, we need to do background check. We need to reach police station where that the community the applicant live in, the police station that in that particular environment. We have to reach there to do background check for character. We have to do background check with the university or institution the applicant graduated from if we want to hire them. We have to do all of these things. All right. It will be able to help. It will be able to help it will be able to help our students to be able to have the right for discipline and have the rightful identity. So to conclude, I would say that education fills the mind, discipline shape identity, identity shape character, and character shapes the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our guest for that wonderful parting statement. We want to take you, Mr. Dolo. Let's hear you in the next 60 seconds.
Thank you, sir. But you took away some of my time, so you have to add you have to add my time back. Okay,
Give
sir.
you
Just
90,
kidding
I give you
though.
1 minute 30 seconds, which is equivalent to 90 seconds.
Thank you, sir. I love you, sir. Okay. So it's important, guys. It's important tonight that we discuss this thing called character. Like I said, when we lost our health, we lost something. When we lost money or whatever material, we have lost nothing because we can get those things back. But you see, this thing called character, if or when it's being lost or being gone away from you, you can't get it back. You just can't. So it's important that we know whatever child or children learns in the home and in the school reflects on their adulthood. Forget about the job that you will get you will get married, XYZ. Let's forget about those things because they come after. So whatever you learn in your home, whatever you learn in your school, it actually reflects on your adulthood. When you become man, when you become woman, you
Hello, Philip, are you there? Is our network issue? Philip, are you there? Okay, Queen, let's take your parting statement for the next 1 minute.
people of
Thank you.
characters, people of values. CEO?
Yeah, go ahead. You have like
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Okay, thank you. So, like we see, many of the problems we have in the workspace today, even in our school, in the community, like you coming to work late, you coming to school late, or attending meetings late, being dishonest, you are not kind of truthful enough. I mean, you don't know, accountability. You cannot give account of what you did. You don't know your responsibility. All these things happening today in the working environment is because those things were not taught onto us at home. And the school, some of the schools are not teaching us these things. So we have to be responsible for our actions.
Philip is facing a bad network issue tonight. I don't know what is happening. Philip, are you there? Hello, Philip. Okay, Queen, let's hear you tonight. Let's hear you for your parting statement.
Okay, thank you so much, Myers. Anytime you give me opportunity to speak, I see as a privilege, but not my right. Yeah, so all I have to say to parents, I'll leave you with two key words. Join with the teachers, partnership with them to train your child or children because then recently school do call for PTA meeting at times. It's not about disobeying grade sheets. It's about telling you the contour sometimes about the child or children to tell you that with your collaboration we can achieve this by growing this child, by teaching this child. So secondly, when it comes to wow, brother Philip was saying when it comes to the way his parents were harsh, what each time I hear about that, it really, really makes me to laugh. Because, one of the things about African parents, like most especially Liberian parents, they focus too much on chastising the child but not telling them this is what it's supposed to be done. Like I will leave you one experience, right? When I was coming out, I was left-handed. Like I think I explained that story to somebody one time. I was left-handed. Everything of my life is left hand. And looking at the way my father was very harsh when it comes to restriction. He used to even every time beat me, tie my hand all with cloth just for me not to work on my left hand. But not showing me the importance, of not using your left hand some places. At the end of the day, trust me, my dad beat me. Sometimes Mark or me here, my mom will get in severe problem when it comes to that. At the end of the day, trust me, I'm a I'm a long lasting left handed person that till now I don't like I tell people my right hand is just for me, like for them to not say Queen is crippled, but I don't know how to do anything with my left hand, left foot, everything about me is left hand. So we should train our children how much our chastising the child is good. But also if you are chastising the child then there's a significance of what they do, this thing you do, it will cause lifetime impact on you or effect on you. If you don't do that chastising, there's some children that are very hard headed, nothing going to change.
Very
Thank you.
good. Very good. Very good.
Thank
Children
you.
like
Thank you so
us.
much.
That's
Let me
nice.
say a very big
I
thank
like
you.
that
Let
punchline,
me
CEO. I like that punchline.
Let me say a very big thank you tonight to our guest, Mr. Emmanuel G. Kawe, a brother and friend of mine. That anytime I call on him, he's waiting to be here. Thank you so much for that. We really learned a lot from you tonight, and we want to say thanks to all of our viewers for following tonight. Thanks to our panelist, Miss Queen, and then that of Philip. I want to say thank you so much for being on the show tonight. So let me just leave this word with us. This just the paragraph with us. It says study shows students with strong discipline, identities, adapt deep learning approach, while weaker ones stuck to surface learning. So when you want to be that one who will go deeper, right, you have to put most times to your study. You have to do everything possible to go deeper. You have to put every effort of all of you to study more and more. If you don't do that, you'll just be where at the surface. People will just see you at that surface,
CEO,
and then
CEO, CEO,
yeah, yeah.
CEO. I will cut you off, sir. Please, with all respect. So somebody have a concern and they just drop in the chat room. I don't know if our guests can speak to that or we can speak to that.
Is that a question?
Yes, serious concern, sir. It's a very serious concern.
Is that the one who said my question is if this child
No.
does not have parents around them?
Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Was that
Is that
Yeah,
what
answered?
you're talking about?
we did answer that question. It was the first question,
Yeah,
so let's try
Oh.
to
yeah, it was the
elaborate
same
more
question,
on
Oh.
it.
right? Yeah, it was just the same question. So she was just giving her own
Yeah.
perspective. So okay, let me just
Okay.
announce to us
My
the
internet.
the
My
person you
internet.
see in the conversation as writing too much is going to be here on Friday. Y'all please come to write for her as well. She's writing too much
That's
tonight.
nice.
So she's gonna be our
That's
guest
nice.
on Friday. Maron Toga is going to be our guest on Friday. And we are super excited, Maron, to be having you on Friday. We said thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we want to say do have a wonderful night as we meet again on Friday on the Marius TV. Thanks so much. And we leave you with this song and do have yourself again a wonderful night.
Thank you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Queen.
Oh, Marius TV.
Thanks to everyone. Thank you for having me.